Okay, good. Then you should be fine. So go ahead, Carlene. You can go
Okay.
now. Mm-hmm.
See Joy. Charmaine. Good Monty. Gave you a shout out, Dr. Gordon. Proud of Dr. Noel Gordon from Southwest St. Anne, what town? I am from Glasgow, and your sister Hyacinth is my friend. Okay. And then C Joint Entertainment, Sharifa, I think she's Sharifa Insan Wilson said that we should take a look at the books by Thich Nhat Hanh on mindfulness. Are you familiar with that? Thich Nhat Hanh on mindfulness was her recommendation. Another comment from Radiant Rona. If the self-learning is not what it's supposed to be, how can teachers truly assess the teaching and learning during this time?
That's a whole other topic.
Okay.
It's a whole other assessment topic
Okay.
for another Jaminar.
Okay. Then the comments. When you ask for them to agree and disagree and to rate those six
The six
mindfulness
items.
questions, there was a long list of agree, no, disagree, in between. I'm not an in between. It depends. They were listening. There was a lot of them, and on for that particular response. And then this is where I it was hilarious for me. Okay, I think I've lost it. I think I've lost the YouTube. I never got a chance to record to copy it. But can you still hear me?
Yes. Uh-huh.
But we had a lot of, oh, this is so good. This is so relaxing. Comments like
For the
that.
end.
I think I had a, oh, I mean, that was really funny. And we had at least some 15 to 20 of those, just a word. They were just in a word, which tells me that I'd give anything to have seen a picture of them. Because and they all took the time, and they were so, to me, they were so into it that they could only come up with one word. To express the what you were telling them to do, like as you instruct them. It appeared to me from those comments that they were doing exactly that, which was an excellent way, I thought, of ending your presentation. You had them concentrating, and then you had them come off on such a high. Um, and I enjoyed the comments a lot because I couldn't do them, but I was hearing them and then seeing the comments, and that was very interesting for me. So well done, Dr. Gordon.
Thank you so much.
My chore was not a chore for this Jaminar. It was clearly a participant participating, trying to keep up with what you were saying and trying to find out what your listeners were saying. Okay, so that's it. Okay.
Thank you so much,
they were talking a lot, and they introduced themselves, the participants, but it appeared to me that you had them. You had them listening. You grabbed their attention.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the response and the affirmation. And it's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure just being a part of this. And as you know, I've always wanted to give back to because I'm one of the persons who received free education. You remember those free education days?
Yes.
Go to high school free. I go to college. I went to UA free, and all of that. And then an opportunity presents itself for us to give back to our community and our country. So thank you all for having the trust and the faith in me. And I hope that there will be more opportunities to talk about other things.
and there's been no problem with us talking about this yet again, Dr. Gordon. This is one of those topics that usually arrives for us at just the right time.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm a believer. I'm a believer in that. Things happen as they should. And so clearly your message of mindfulness and all that we need to be in the classroom, but also what we need to be for ourselves is so very important. I found myself thinking, you talked about the teacher in the classroom, and it's so funny the things you remember. I had a particularly impressive teacher that I remember. You know those teachers that are just leave a lasting impression.
Yeah.
And she had a list, and it said classroom do's.
Yes.
She did not have any don'ts. She only did do's, because then if you weren't doing any of the do's, you were doing a don't. And so she would just remind you of the do's. And it worked. She you know, by the of course the end of the term, we all knew the do's. We all knew the do's. Okay, and we did the do's. Okay. So a very, very, very positive way of getting the behavior that you're looking for, that you seek, right? Do what you seek, right? Last thing, I have to tell you about a couple of points that I made about closing your eyes and breathing. We can't do enough of that from time to time. You know, I found myself thinking how much is expected of our teachers. In terms of not only being mindful of themselves, but being aware of others in a way to know when there might be a problem and to call for help.
Yes.
Right? And no, we can't necessarily solve all the problems, but we need to be aware. And that, you know, is that four quadrant approach that you talked about, which I think is embraced in the whole concept of staying in a learning mode. You know, if you're in a learning mode.
Can I interject? I don't want to lose the point.
Please.
You said something a while ago is just so profound. I want to give an example of that. I was doing teacher observation. You know, you have to assess them virtually, and then we do this.
Sure.
And after I did the observation with this teacher, she said, she said, my husband had COVID, and this is happening with my family. And I listened. You know, that wasn't a part of the clinical supervision, but and then she started to cry. Then I said, can I offer a word of prayer? You know, that's in the American system.
Oh boy, yeah.
Offer a word of prayer. And she said yes. And I prayed for her. And at the end, she sent me a beautiful email. How thankful, not to talk about the observation, how thankful she was because I listened. And saying that in the classroom, and that happened like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know how you will impact someone, eh? So, Dr. Gordon, thank you so very much. You know, we could chat for another hour easily, but we don't have the time. So thank you again so very much on behalf of the entire Jdtan family for your contribution to our body of work. And we hope that you will consider coming back again to talk about this or something else of your choosing. We are open. We are always giving forward. I personally never say give back. I'm not going in that direction. We're going forward. So we give forward. And so thank you again very much, and hope that we can see you again soon.
Thank you very kindly, and God bless you all. Bye, Carlene.
Same here. Take care. Okay, Kimon.
Okay. I'm hungry, so I'll leave you too.
We're still streaming, so I'm just waiting for Kimon.
I couldn't find it.
Yes.
I am so glad that I copied.
Hang on a second, Carlene.